What do you think happens when we die, Keanu Reeves?
I know that the ones who love us will miss us.
Hollywood burns through reputation like paper. One flop, one ugly headline, and the same crowd that cheered you will act like they never knew your name. And yet, Keanu Reeves is still here, still loved. The internet's favorite example of a good celebrity, especially in a time when that phrase sounds like satire. Reddit literally treats him like a religion. Entire subreddits exist just to prove he's perfect. Meanwhile, others can't post a selfie without someone digging up something problematic from 2003. And that's the thing, is he really the last good guy in Hollywood? Or have we built an idea of Keanu so perfect that the real man can't possibly live up to it? If he's the first option, then he's not just a nice guy, he's living proof that fame doesn't have to ruin you. And if he's the second, well, that says a lot about us.
You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
Keanu Reeves has been famous for nearly 40 years. That's an absurd run in any field. But in Hollywood, it's like surviving a 100-year storm. He's had hits so big they changed the industry. He's had flops so bad they could have ended him. He's been written off, resurrected, typecast, reinvented. And somehow, through all of it, his reputation stayed clean. No meltdowns, no fake apologies, no Twitter feuds dragging on for weeks. Instead, we get subway videos, small acts of kindness caught on phones, buying a Harley for a stuntman, quiet donations to children's hospitals. Meanwhile, other stars are getting cancelled for tweets from high school. So today we're not just listing wholesome Keanu moments. We're asking, which stories are real? Which are internet myth-making? And how has Keanu stayed beloved while nearly everyone else gets torn apart? Because if he really pulled it off, then Keanu Reeves isn't just an actor worth watching. He's a case study in how to survive fame without losing your humanity.
No, you have to be.
I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm just another guy.
Before the slow-motion gunfights and billion-dollar franchises, Keanu Reeves was just a kid in Toronto. Born in Beirut, raised in Toronto, 4 schools, 4 stepfathers, the kind of background that usually produces either resilience or therapy bills. His first passion wasn't acting, it was hockey, goalie. His nickname was The Wall, and you can still see it in him today. The calm, the focus, the willingness to take hits and keep going. When acting took over, it wasn't through Hollywood privilege. He started in Canadian TV movies, stage work, awkward commercials, small films that barely left the country. By the mid-80s, he broke into the US with Youngblood, then River's Edge, but the real break came in 1989 with Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And here's the danger, Hollywood loves labels. And Keanu's label became Surfer Stoner Goofball. The role was a hit, but it could have been a career cage. Most young actors would ride that wave and cash in. Keanu didn't. In the early 90s, he did My Own Private Idaho with River Phoenix, an indie, dramatic, proved he wasn't just a comedic sidekick. Then came Point Break, action star unlocked. 3 years later, he did Speed, one of the most bankable leads in the business. And then he did something unheard of. When Speed 2 came knocking, Keanu read the script and said no. Not maybe next time no, or schedule conflict no. He just flat out refused because the script was bad. That one decision slammed a lot of doors. 20th Century Fox put him in movie jail for over a decade. Executives hate being told their guaranteed hit is garbage, even when it is. Speed 2 Cruise Control still made $164 million. It also won 5 Razzie Awards. Sandra Bullock later called it a piece of shit. Meanwhile, Keanu was blacklisted for having standards. Hollywood called it career suicide. The rest of us called it just good taste. And here's the lesson. Keanu made career choices that hurt him short term, but protected his integrity long term. In Hollywood, that's considered either insane or admirable, usually both. In '99, The Matrix came out. It was not just a hit, it was a cultural earthquake. Bullet time, black sunglasses, kung fu philosophy. It made $463 million worldwide, and Keanu Reeves was Neo forever. But here's the part people forget. The sequels were massive at the box office, but divisive with fans and critics. The box office said yes, the critics said whoa. And for the next decade, Neo was less the one and more Hollywood's favorite punchline. The Onion said he was made of wood. South Park turned him into a literal joke. Through the 2000s, He drifted through projects like A Scanner Darkly, The Lake House, Street Kings, not disasters, but not moving the culture needle either. For most actors, that would have been the fade out. Instead, Keanu was unknowingly heading towards one of the biggest comebacks of his generation. Before that comeback, life hit hard. In '99, his daughter with Jennifer Syme was stillborn. Less than 2 years later, Syme died in a car accident. This is where most celebrity stories go off the rails. Public breakdowns, addiction spirals, tabloid exploitation. In Hollywood, tragedy becomes content. Oprah specials, tell-all memoirs, finding healing through my pain documentaries. That never happened. Keanu kept his grief private. No press tours, no sympathy interviews. He just carried it. Not for cameras or for pity, just because grief doesn't give you another option. When Parade magazine asked him in 2006, he said, "Grief changes shape, but it never ends. People think you can deal with it and say, it's gone, I'm better." They're wrong. And you see, that's not a polished PR line. That's the kind of thing you only say if you've lived it. And maybe that's part of why people believe in him. In a fame economy that rewards oversharing, Keanu refuses to turn his pain into a product. By the early 2010s, Keanu was respected, but not a box office draw. Then came John Wick, a modest budget, simple revenge plot, directed by 2 stunt coordinators making their debut. And it hit hard. Audiences loved it. Critics loved it. Suddenly, Keanu Reeves was an action icon again. Each sequel outperformed the last. By 2023, the franchise had crossed $1 billion. The Keanu Renaissance was official. It turns out the internet will forgive a decade of wooden jokes if you shoot enough people in the face with style. And the key was he didn't reinvent himself with some fake edgy persona. He leaned into what worked: discipline, sincerity, commitment. While other aging action stars were chasing relevance, Keanu just focused on making the work better. No viral campaigns, no fake controversies, just showed up, did the job, and let the results speak. John Wick made him an action icon again, but what really cemented his reputation wasn't on screen. It was online. Stories about his generosity started circulating everywhere, and while a lot of them are true, some of them are just pure internet myth-making. He really did buy Rolex Submariners for his John Wick 4 stunt team, engraved personal thank yous. He really does quietly fund cancer research in children's hospitals. No photo ops, no hashtags, just done. He even gave up some of his Matrix profits so the effects and costume teams could get raises. That's not a rumor, it really happened. But that viral story about him donating 70% of his Matrix money to cancer research, it sounds great, but it never happened. Keanu Reeves is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, but his generosity is real enough. It doesn't need fairy tales. And let's be clear, he's not some monk in Hollywood wearing a black robe. He likes motorcycles, cigars, killer leather jackets. The generosity is real, but so is the fact that he enjoys the life he built. Compared to the usual Hollywood charity routine, tax-deductible galas, endless awareness campaigns, performative activism timed for award season, Keanu's approach looks even better. While everyone else was busy turning charity into PR, Keanu just did the work, no hashtags required. So is he really the last good guy in Hollywood? Here's what's undeniable. For nearly 40 years, he's avoided the self-inflicted wounds that destroy most stars. No ego feuds, no messy divorces splashed across TMZ, no "I'm sorry if you were offended" apologies. He's careful with his privacy. He treats crew with the same respect as executives. He doesn't overshare. And his generosity, while not magical, is consistent and real. He's famously awkward in interviews, long pauses, strange tangents. That puzzled look like he's not sure why the question was asked. It's all part of the charm, but it also reminds you, he's not running on a PR script. Sometimes he's just a little weird, like the rest of us. In this crazy world built on image, most stars either burn out or get exposed. Keanu Reeves hasn't avoided every mistake, but he's avoided the one that matters most, letting fame rewrite who he is. Maybe he's not flawless. Maybe the internet's version of him is a little too polished. But the fact there's enough truth behind the legend to keep it alive for 40 years, that's extremely rare. And maybe that's why we root for him. Because he's proof you can survive the most toxic celebrity machine on earth without turning into the worst version of yourself. Most celebrity stories end with scandal or self-destruction. Keanu's story is calm, grounded, human. And maybe that's why people project so much goodness onto him. Because we want to believe it's possible.
No, because if you're a lover, you gotta be a fighter.
How so?
Because if you don't fight for your love, what kind of love do you have? No, I'm kidding.